I want to make sure I give you guys a little extra help on the last 3 assignments in Chapter 3. That's 11, 12, and 13. This is a place where all the concepts of scale and of intervals start coming together into a situation that you might be able to apply to your real life playing or teaching lives right away. So here's the concept. We want to be able to start writing any music we write for any instrument in the orchestra or the band or whatever ensemble you wind up having to deal with. The problem is that many instruments in the orchestra transpose. That is to say, they don't play in the same key that they're written in, or they're not written in the same key that they play in. It's a long historical reason for that. Don't sweat it too much right now, but let's just talk about the way it is. Often the names of the instruments will tell you how they transpose. Trumpet in B flat tells you that when Mr. Trumpet sees a C on his chart, what comes out of his horn is actually a B flat. He's a B flat trumpet. His interval of transposition is a major second, because when he sees C, what comes out is B flat. Now that also means that if I want him to play C, instead of writing a C, to get this sound, I'll write him a D. That's the sound, that's the written note that's going to give me this concert sound of C. Interval of a major second. Okay? Trumpet transposes by a major second. French horn transposes by a perfect fifth. Alto saxophone transposes by a major sixth. Tenor saxophone transposes by an octave plus a major second. There's a number of different instruments that transpose at different intervals. You'll find all this stuff in Appendix F in the back of your book. One thing to watch out for. Everybody that transposes sounds lower than they're written, with the exception of the piccolo. Little tiny piccolo plays really high notes. If he were to actually play what's written, or write what he plays, his notes would be super high up in ledger lines. He's the only instrument in the orchestra that is written an octave lower than he's going to play it. So if you wanted him to play a C6, you would write him a C5. Everybody else plays lower than they're written, so you'll write them high. All right, let's demonstrate this a little bit. Here are 4 notes that I need to be played. This is how the tune goes. A natural C sharp, G flat, and D in treble clef. Again, if I was writing this for my student who's playing B flat trumpet, because it's an easy transposition to begin with, I'm going to put his part down here. The interval of transposition is a major second. So I'm going to write 4 notes that are a major second above the original 4 notes. A major second above A is B. A major second above C sharp is D sharp. A major second above G flat is A flat. A major second above D is E. Those would be the right notes for my trumpet player. This would enable his sound to be that sound in concert key. Okay, let's change instruments for a second. Let's say the instrument now is French horn, or horn in F. It transposes by a perfect fifth. So this is horn in F. He's up a perfect fifth. Up a perfect fifth from A is E. See why you needed all these drills to make sure you could do your intervals quickly? Here it is. There's a whole orchestra sitting there waiting for you to get your act together and your arrangement done so they can play this tune in 15 minutes. Okay. Right. Perfect fifth above A was E. A perfect fifth above C sharp would make that G sharp. A perfect fifth above G flat would make this guy D flat. And a perfect fifth above D would give me A up here. And I just wrote out the French horn part. Easy, huh? That's really all there is to the transposing idea without doing keys. But watch this. What if I had a situation where I had a simple little melody that happened to be in the key of D. And this tune goes twee, 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 twee. Those 4 notes. Let's make that one even more interesting. Twee! Let's sharp the last note. Okay? Now, it's in the key of D. And let's say I want to write this part for my trumpet player again. Up a major second. So, I could start off by going up a major second from D, gives me E, up a major second from C sharp now, which makes it D sharp. Okay, okay. Up a major second from A is going to give me B, I get that. And up a major second from E sharp now, oh my gosh, from E sharp, that would make it F sharp? No, higher than that, F double sharp, because it's a whole major second. F double sharp. Remember that E sharp is the same sound as F, so up a whole step from F would be F double sharp. Okay? Gosh, kind of complicated. Looks different. There's a sharp in this one, there wasn't a sharp there. Oh, that's really different. Here's the trick. If I had also transposed my key signature by the same interval, would have fixed a lot of these problems. A major step above my original key signature, which was D, would make it the key of E, right? So if I put my horn player in E, now that D sharp takes care of itself. Oh. And this raised note is actually still going to be raised. Instead of F sharp, it's going to be F double sharp. But I didn't have, at least now I have an accidental in my original and I have an accidental in my transposed part. That's always a secret, you guys. If you do your key signature correctly, you'll have and you had an accidental in the original or the concert key, you'll have an accidental in the same place when you transpose key. That's the basic idea of transposition for horn parts. Individually without key signature changes, which is not very realistic, with a key signature change. And you can imagine when a composer or a conductor is looking at an entire orchestral score, every instrument is in a different key as he looks down his page. And that's part of his job, is to keep all that stuff straight. Here's one last thing on the final assignment that you guys have, where you're given a piece of piano music. Really, it's a piano reduction of a string quartet. It begins its life in a grand staff, two voices in this staff, two voices in this staff. Your job is to expand this out or extract these parts, this piano part, into 4 individual parts. Here's the thing I don't want you to mess up. This piano score is going to turn into 4 separate staves of music, perhaps with soprano saxophone, alto saxophone, maybe tenor saxophone, and perhaps string bass, and that might be your ensemble. But it's going to bust out or expand into 4 separate staves out of the original. Biggest thing I want to just caution you guys on, okay? So, make sure you play this back in finale. Once you've done the work on these things, on the last one especially, play it back. Listen to the cool arrangement you've done. This is actually your very first arranging project. So, enjoy this. This should sound pretty good.